She took my card, spent $23,000, and left me with nothing. My mom and dad helped her at first, but then I did one thing. It changed everything. It showed them the truth. I am a man. I am 35 years old. I am from New Jersey. My family is Italian. We are loud. You know this kind of family. We must eat dinner on Sunday. Everyone knows what others do. My grandma makes me eat food. She does this even when I am full. When I was young, I lived with my family. My sister Sophia is older than me. She is 38. My mom and dad are both 65. We lived in a small house. It had 3 bedrooms. The house smelled like garlic. It smelled like my mom's sauce. Sophia was special. My mom and dad loved her a lot. They thought she was the best. They thought she was a gift from God. She was pretty. She was smart. They thought she would do big things. I was not special. I was good at working with my hands. I got a job in construction. I make good money now. I work on cruise ships. I have enough money. I can live well. I can go on a trip once a year, if I am lucky. But Sophia thinks I am not good. She thinks I let the family down. She always tells me this. She says I took a simple job. She says she went for big dreams. Her big dreams were to marry a rich man. She wanted to have a nice life. She did this for some time. She met a man. His name is Marco. He is 42 years old. He has a lot of money. She met him at a wine event. She went to these events. She acted like she was important, but she was not. Marco had money. His family is Italian. They are a good family. My mom and dad were very happy. They thought Sophia was a princess. They thought she got the life she should have. They had a big wedding. My dad spent all his savings. He did this for the wedding. He wanted Sophia to have what she wanted. I stood there. I wore a rented suit. I watched her marry Marco. I thought, now she is his problem, not mine. I was wrong. 5 years passed. Everything went bad. Marco wanted a divorce. He did this suddenly, but I thought it might happen. I had a feeling. There was a man at her gym. He was her trainer. She talked about him a lot. She texted him a lot. She made excuses. She wanted to spend more time at the gym. I did not say anything. Italian families do not talk about these things. But I think Marco found out. He found out she did more than exercise at the gym. The divorce was bad. They fought a lot. They threw plates in a restaurant. She did this. It was in the local paper. Marco had a good lawyer. They had a prenup. It was very strong. He was smart. Sophia got almost nothing. She got some money each month. The money was for their daughter. Her name is Isabella. She is 9 years old. Then the real problem started. Sophia was not doing well. She had no job skills. She was a wife for a rich man for years. She and Isabella needed a place to live. They needed money. In most families, parents would help. They would help their daughter start again. But my parents did not help. My mom and dad wanted to enjoy their life now. They just stopped working. They planned trips to Italy. They wanted to see where their family came from. They told Sophia they could not help. They said they needed to find themselves. This was not true. Do you remember? My dad spent all his savings for the wedding. That was the only thing they did for Sophia as an adult. So who had to help? Me. My name is Antonio. That is not my real name, but it is close to my real name. I have a good job. I have no family. That is what they said. They think because I am single, I have nothing to do. They think I should give money to my sister. At first, it was for a short time. She said, "Help me until I get a job, Antonio." She said, "Help with food for a few months, Antonio." She said, "Isabella needs things for school, Antonio." It went on and on. Soon I paid her rent. I paid $1,600 each month. It was for a nice place. Sophia did not want to live in a normal apartment. I paid for power and water. I paid for food. I bought extra things for Isabella. She needed a computer for school. I bought it. She wanted dance classes. I paid for them. She had birthday parties. I paid for those too. I told myself I did it for Isabella. She's a great kid. She is smart. She is sweet. She is not like her mom. It is not her fault. Her mom is a mess. Italian families help each other. My mom told us this since we were kids. She said family comes first. But this rule was only for Sophia. It was not for me. This happened for 5 years. For 5 years, I watched my money go away. For 5 years, I did not go on trips. Sophia needed money for Isabella's camp. For 5 years, Sophia thought she was better than me. She lived on my money. The worst part was this. Sophia acted like she helped me. She acted like she gave me a reason to live. At family dinners, she would say things, "It was sweet that you cared so much, Antonio." She talked to me like I was a child. But my family taught me to help family. So I kept giving her money. I told myself it was for a short time. About a year ago, Sophia got a good job. It was a real job. She works at a drug company. She works in HR. She gets benefits. She gets a salary. I think she makes $65,000 a year. That is not a lot of money, but it is better than before. She said she did consulting work before, but she didn't really do that work. I thought this was my chance. I could stop giving her money slowly. I told her I would help for a few more months. She needed time to get used to her new job. I wanted to be a good brother. I wanted to make it easy for Isabella. Then things got strange. First, small things happened. Sophia came to Sunday dinner. She wore expensive shoes. Then she got a new phone. It was fancy.
Then she bought all new clothes. She said her old clothes were not good for her job. I thought maybe she got extra money when she started her job. But she kept buying more things. Every week she came to my parents' house. She had something new and expensive. She had fancy bags. She had jewelry. She talked about joining a new gym. It was very expensive. She said her old gym was not good enough. But I still paid her rent. I still paid for her power and water. She said she needed more time. She needed to save money. Our Sunday dinners are very important in my family. If you miss one, my mom gets very mad. She acts like you did something terrible. So every week I had to sit there. I watched the show. Sophia showed off her new things. My mom and dad were happy. They were proud of Sophia. They thought she was doing well. I sat there quiet. I thought about my money. How much went to her rent? How much went to her shopping? My Aunt Maria is 64 years old. She was the only one who noticed something was wrong. She would look at me from across the table. She knew I was getting very angry. I am glad she is in my family. She is the only normal person in my family, besides me. This went on for months. I got more and more angry. Sophia got more and more demanding. Then one Sunday, I got very angry. We all sat at the table. I was there. Sophia was there. Isabella was there. My mom was there. My dad was there. Aunt Maria was there. My mom made her famous lasagna. Sophia always says it has too many calories. Everything seemed normal. Sophia talked about her job. She was bragging. My dad talked about their trip to Sicily. Isabella played with her phone under the table. Then Sophia said something surprising. She said, "I want to buy a Gucci bag. It is beautiful. It costs $500. It would be good for my work meetings." I almost choked on my wine. $500 for a purse? And I still paid her $1,600 rent. I tried to stay calm. I really did. I asked her nicely. I said, "That is a lot of money for a purse. You still need help with bills, don't you think?" Her answer made me mad. I can still hear it in my head. She laughed a little. She acted like I was a stupid kid. She said, "Don't be cheap, Antonio. A professional person needs to look professional." She called me cheap? Me? I did not buy new work boots for 2 years. Her rent took all my money. I did not go to my best friend's wedding. It was in Vegas. She needed money for Isabella's camp. I did not go on a date for months. Every extra dollar went to her needs. The worst part was not what she said. It was how others reacted. My mom and dad looked at their plates. They did not look up. Isabella looked uncomfortable. Poor kid. She was used to her mom's bad behavior. Only Aunt Maria looked like she would say something. But I spoke first. I put my fork down slowly. I drank some wine. Then I said everything. I did not yell. I never yell when Isabella is there. I just told the truth. I said, "Let's talk about cheap, Sophia. Let's talk about how I paid your rent for 5 years. You bought expensive things. Let's talk about our parents. They won't help you. They are too busy in Italy. Let's talk about my job. You think it is simple, but you live on my money." The room got very quiet. It was so quiet, you could hear a meatball fall. Then I said the big thing. I said, "I am done. No more rent, no more power bills, no more food, no more anything. You have a good job. Good. Now be an adult. Pay your own bills." Sophia's face changed fast. First she was shocked, then she was angry, then she was scared, then she tried to think if I was serious. Aunt Maria started to clap slowly. She said, "Good job, Antonio." She did this right at the table. My mom looked like she would faint. My dad would not look at me. I took my jacket. I walked to the door. But I turned back. I said one more thing. I said, "Sophia, that $500 purse, maybe use that money for rent. I mean it. I am not your bank anymore. Then I left. Aunt Maria followed me. She gave me a big hug. She said she was proud. She was proud that I finally stood up to Sophia. You would think Sophia would call me. She would send me angry messages. That is what she usually does. One time she sent me 47 messages. I was 10 minutes late to pick up Isabella from dance class. But she did not call. She did not text. Nothing. For a whole week. The silence was strange. It bothered me more than if she yelled at me. I kept looking at my phone. I thought I missed a call. We have a family group on WhatsApp. My mom usually sends prayers and food pictures. But it was quiet. No one posted anything. Aunt Maria sent me a private message. She said they would get over it. She said I did the right thing. I did not go to Sunday dinner. I sent my mom a text. I said I had to work. This was not a complete lie. I did work an extra shift. I could feel my mom was disappointed. She sent me a message back. It was mean in a nice way. She said, "That's fine. Isabella asked about you, but work is more important than family. I understand." This is a classic Italian mom guilt trip. Then on Wednesday night at 9:30, someone knocked on my door hard. I was in my sweatpants. I was half asleep on the couch. I was watching a game. I opened the door. My mom and dad were there. They looked like I had canceled Christmas. My mom came in without saying hello. This is normal for her. She walked around my living room. She wore her church clothes. They probably came from church. My dad just stood there. He had his disappointed dad face. He is very good at that face. My mom said, "We need to talk about Sophia." She said it like she was going to solve a big problem. I got a soda from the fridge. I asked if they wanted one. They looked at me like I said something bad, like I said we should rob a bank. Fine, more soda for me. My dad finally spoke. He said, "Sophia is having a hard time, Antonio. Isabella should not suffer because you are stubborn." I almost spit out my soda. "My stubbornness?" I said. I tried to keep my voice calm. I said, "Let me understand this. You two go on cruises, you go on wine tours, you do not help your own daughter, but you want to tell me that I make Isabella suffer?" My mom made a face. She looked like she tasted something sour. She said, "That is not fair. We are retired. We worked hard our whole lives. You are young. You have a good job, and Sophia is your sister." I said, "Sister? But that only matters when it is easy for you, right?" Then my mom got angry. She talked about family duty. She said I was heartless. She said Isabella is a child and did nothing wrong. My dad kept saying small things. He said this is not how they raised me. The best part was this. They said, "We do not help her like you do. She needs to learn responsibility." I lost control. I completely lost it. I laughed in their faces. I said, "Oh, now she needs to learn responsibility? Where was this idea 5 years ago when I started paying her bills? Where was this when she bought expensive things with my money? This is very convenient timing." My dad tried to say something. He said I was being cold. He said this is not like me. I walked to my door. I held it open. I said, "Thanks for coming, but this is how it will be now. Sophia wants to be an adult, then she needs to pay her bills." They left. They talked in Italian in a low voice. This means they are very angry. My mom did not try to give me food to take home. In Italian mom language, this means she is very mad at me. Aunt Maria called me the next morning. Sophia told everyone she was sad. She said she might have to move to a bad area. By bad area, she meant any place without a Whole Foods store. She said her mean brother stopped helping her. My mom and dad talked to people at church. They told everyone their son was once sweet. Now he does not care about family. But here is something. Aunt Maria's friend works at a salon. The friend told Aunt Maria something. Sophia was talking about a nice vacation. She planned to go to a spa for a weekend. How did she have money for that? I wanted to know. Then on Friday night, Sophia called me. Her voice was very sweet, like when she was a kid. She used that voice to make me buy her things. She said, "I just wanted to tell you, I am moving out of the apartment next month." She talked like everything was normal. I said, "What? You can't pay for it without my help?" I probably sounded too happy. Her laugh made me feel cold. She said, "Oh, I can pay for it. I found something better." She is moving in with my mom and dad. They said she could use their guest room. They said poor Isabella should not live in a bad apartment. Sophia sounded very happy with herself, like she won a game. The next month, my accountant called me. He told me to check my credit report now. My sister used my information. She opened new bank accounts. I immediately logged into my Experian account. My hands shook a lot. I had to type my password 3 times. What I saw made me almost throw up. There were 4 new credit cards. They were in my name. She opened them in the last 6 months. 4 cards? She spent all the money on them. She spent thousands of dollars. She bought things from stores I never heard of. Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, fancy stores in the city. She even bought plane tickets to Miami. That explains her work trip last month. The total money she spent was $23,400. Think about this, $23,000. That is almost the money I saved for a house. All gone because my sister stole my identity. I am not proud of what I did next, but I completely lost control. I threw my phone across the room. Thank God for good phone cases. I punched a wall. I know, not smart. My hand still hurts. Then I sat on my kitchen floor. I felt like I was having a panic attack. I called Aunt Maria. She is the only smart person in my family. It was 11 p.m., but she answered on the second ring. When I told her what Sophia did, she cursed in Italian. She used bad words. Our grandma would have washed our mouths with soap for those words. She said, "You need to call the police." But here is the problem. Sophia has Isabella. If I call the police, what will happen to my niece? She is the only one who did nothing wrong in this mess. I spent the whole night looking at the charges. She bought spa treatments. She ate at fancy restaurants. This woman lived a great life on my credit. I ate cheap food to save money. She even charged Isabella's school fees. That explains why Sophia stopped asking me for school money. The next morning I slept for 2 hours. I drank a lot of coffee. I called a lawyer. The lawyer works on identity theft cases. I paid $400 to talk to him, but it was worth the money. Here is the interesting part. Sophia did not try to hide what she did. Everything she bought went to her address. She used her own phone number. She used her own email. The lawyer said this was a clear case of identity theft. With this proof, she could get in big trouble. But he said there is a choice. Since she is family, maybe we should try to talk first. He said I should send her a letter. The letter should say she must pay all the money back. If she does not, then I can call the police. This gives her one chance to fix it, before I ruin her life. I thought about Isabella. I agreed to do it this way. So I called Sophia. My hands were shaking again, but this time I was very angry. She said, "Hey, Johnny." She sounded happy, like nothing was wrong. She said, "How's my favorite person?" I stopped her. I said, "I know about the credit cards." It was very quiet. Then she said, "I can explain." I said, "Shut up. Just shut up for once in your life. Listen to me." My voice was so cold, I did not recognize it. I said, "You have 1 week to pay all the money back. If you do not, I will call the police. And Sophia, I have all the proof." She tried to cry, but I said, "Isabella is the only reason I am giving you this chance. 1 week. That is it." I hung up. I blocked her number right away. Then I sent everything to my lawyer.
The credit reports, the charges, the delivery papers. I did this just in case. Then I called my bank. I froze all my accounts. I started the fraud process. I had to take the day off work. This work takes a lot of time. The credit card companies want police reports. The banks want legal papers. Everyone wants forms, many copies of each form. Aunt Maria brought me lunch. She made a meatball sandwich. It is the best Italian comfort food. She sat with me. I was on hold with another fraud department. She said, "You know she will go to your parents." I said, "Let her. I will not protect her anymore." A week passed. I checked my accounts all the time. I jumped every time my phone rang. Sophia called from different numbers, but I blocked all of them. My mom left me 47 voicemails. I did not listen to them. I learned my lesson. After the big Christmas fight in 2019, then exactly 1 week later, I got an email. It was from my credit card company. All the accounts were paid in full. I sat there looking at my phone. I thought I was seeing things. I had to read the email 5 times. I called the company to make sure. Yes, all paid off. Every last cent. I should have felt happy, right? But something felt wrong. Sophia works at a drug company. She works in HR. No way she had that much money. Then Aunt Maria called me that afternoon. She said, "You will not believe what your mom told me. My mom and dad used all their retirement money. They paid Sophia's debt. The money for their dream trip to Sicily was gone. The money for their 40th anniversary cruise was gone. All of it went to pay what Sophia stole from me. And whose fault is that according to them? If you said mine, you are right. You understand how Italian families think." The next morning,
My phone rang. It was my mom. I had not heard her voice in weeks, so I answered like a fool. She screamed, "Are you happy now?" My neighbors 3 houses away probably heard her. She said, "We had to give Sophia our savings, our retirement money, all because you made a big deal about a few credit cards." I almost choked. I said, "A few credit cards, Mom? She stole my identity." She said, "She is your sister. Families solve problems in the family. But you had to threaten her with lawyers and police like she is a criminal." I said, "She is a criminal. She stole my identity." She said, "She was desperate. Now we cannot go to Sicily. We are stuck here all winter, and it is all your fault. You could not handle this like family." I lost control. I said, "Handle it like family? Like you and Dad handled it when she needed help? Oh wait, you were too busy enjoying your life to help your own daughter." But I helped her for 5 years. I helped her. And how did she thank me? She stole my identity. My mom sniffed. She said, "You did not have to threaten her. We could have found a solution." I said, "Like what? Another 5 years of me paying her bills while she shops at expensive stores? No thanks." She said, "You are not the son I raised." Her voice was quiet and disappointed. That voice used to hurt me when I was a kid. I said, "I am not the son you raised. I am better. I am the son who finally stopped letting my family treat me like a rug to walk on." She hung up. 10 minutes later, my phone got many messages. They were from different relatives. My mom told everyone what happened. She said I made them spend their retirement money. She said I left my sister and niece. She said I threatened poor Sophia with jail. The messages were crazy. They said, "How could you do this to your parents? Your poor mom is crying. What kind of person threatens his own sister? Isabella is very upset." That last one was funny. Isabella was at school. She did not know what was happening. Then Sophia posted on Facebook. She said families should stay together in hard times.
She wrote a fake quote about forgiveness. Our relatives believed her. They wrote comments. They told her she was strong. I had to close my social media accounts. But the worst thing happened next. Sophia moved in with my mom and dad that weekend. Of course, she did not pay rent. She posted pictures of their family dinners. She wrote about true family staying together. She even made Isabella pose for fake photos. Isabella looked sad in the photos. Sophia wrote that Isabella misses Uncle Antonio. Aunt Maria sent me the pictures. I blocked everyone else. Sophia is playing them like a musical instrument. She sends texts. They believe her. Then Sophia did her worst thing. She made Isabella call me after school one day. I always answer when Isabella calls. Isabella said, "Uncle Antonio?" Her voice was small. She said, "Are you mad at me?" My heart broke. I said, "No, honey, never at you." She said, "Then why don't you come to dinner anymore? Mom says you are angry at us." I had to hold my counter to stay calm. Using her own child as a weapon? That is very bad, even for Sophia. I said, "Isabella, listen to me. You did nothing wrong. This is adult stuff between me and your mom. I love you. That will never change." She sniffled. She said, "Mom says you don't love us anymore because you won't help us." Then I heard Sophia in the background. She was telling Isabella what to say. She told her to tell me how sad she is, how much she misses me. I never wanted to hurt someone so much in my life. After Sophia made Isabella call me, I wanted to leave the whole family, except Aunt Maria. She is a good person. But then I got a text from Isabella's school. I am still on her emergency contact list, so I get all school messages. The school is doing a play. The play is The Wizard of Oz. Isabella is playing Dorothy. She practiced for months. This was before all the problems started. Being Dorothy was her dream. I remembered her practicing a song. The song is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. She practiced in my car. I used to drive her to dance class. The text had a link to buy tickets. I looked at it for an hour. I was thinking. Sophia would be there. My mom and dad would probably be there too. There would be problems, but it is for Isabella. Aunt Maria called me while I was thinking. She said, "You are going to that play, Antonio." I said, "Maria, you know Sophia will be there." She said, "I don't care if the Pope is there. That little girl needs someone there for her. Someone who will not play games. I will go with you." So I bought 2 tickets. I did not tell anyone I was coming. I planned to sit in the back. I would watch Isabella, then I would leave before Sophia could start anything.
On the day of the play, I went with Aunt Maria. I bought Isabella yellow roses. Yellow is her favorite color. Also, they matched the yellow brick road in the play. We got there early. We found seats in the back. Isabella was amazing. She made me cry. She was so good. During the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, she saw me. Her face lit up. That smile made all the drama worth it. After the play, parents and family met in the gym. There was a small party. I planned to leave the flowers with the teacher. The teacher would give them to Isabella. But then I heard, "Uncle Antonio!" Isabella came running. She still wore her Dorothy costume. She gave me a big hug. I gave her the roses. She was very happy. She said, "You came! You really came!" Then I heard that voice, the fake, sweet voice that I hate. Sophia said, "Well, well, look who decided to come." Sophia stood there.
She wore expensive clothes. The clothes probably cost more than my rent for a month. She looked very pleased, like she won something. She said, "Really, Antonio? Flowers? Are you trying to buy her love now?" I ignored her. I focused on Isabella. I said, "You were amazing up there, kiddo. I am so proud of you." But Sophia was not done. She crossed her arms. She spoke loudly. Other parents could hear. She said, "It's funny. You can buy flowers, but you won't help your family." People started to look at us. Isabella's smile went away. Aunt Maria stepped forward. I put my hand on her arm. I asked Sophia quietly, "Are you really doing this? Here? Now?" Sophia said, "Why not? You already humiliated me in front of everyone. You might as well do more." I started to walk away. I tried to be nice. But then she said something that stopped me. She said, "Isabella deserves better. She deserves an uncle who cares about her, not someone who uses her to feel good about himself." I turned back. My voice was low but clear. I said, "You don't get to say that, Sophia. Not after what you did. I will not stand here while you turn Isabella against me. She is not stupid. One day she will see the truth." Sophia laughed. She said, "What truth? That her uncle left her? That he threatened to send her mom to jail?" I said, "The truth about the credit cards." The gym got quiet. I said, "The truth about how you stole my identity? How about the truth about why Marco really left?" Sophia's face turned white. "Yes, I said it." Isabella said in a small voice, "Uncle Antonio?" She said, "What credit cards?" Sophia grabbed Isabella's arm. She said, "We are leaving now." Isabella pulled away. I never saw her stand up to her mom before. She said, "No, I want to know what is happening. Everyone always fights. No one tells me why." She started to cry. Real tears, not the fake tears Sophia told her to use on the phone. My heart broke again. I knelt down to her level. I said, "Isabella, listen." But Sophia pulled her away. Sophia said, "Don't you talk to her. You lost that right when you left us." Aunt Maria finally got very angry. She said, "He did not leave anyone. You stole from him after everything he did for you." The gym was very quiet. Everyone watched our Italian family drama. It was like a TV show. Isabella's teacher tried to help. She said maybe this was not the place for this. Sophia used this to leave. She dragged Isabella away. She acted like the victim. She said, "See how they treat us? Your own family?" I stood there watching them leave. I felt like a big failure. Aunt Maria hugged me tight. She whispered, she needed to hear the truth sometime. As we left, I heard parents talking. Sophia told everyone I was the bad guy for months. But tonight, they saw who she really was. A small victory, but what did it cost? The day after the play problem, Isabella called me. She used her friend Lisa's phone. Sophia took Isabella's phone after the play. Very mature, right? Isabella was crying. Not fake crying like her mom taught her to use. Real crying that hurt my heart. She said, "I hate it here. Mom and Grandma always fight about money. They always talk about you. I want everything to be normal again." It turns out, Sophia made everyone unhappy at my parents' house. She treated the house like a hotel. She left messes everywhere. She came home late. She acted like the perfect child for about 2 weeks. Then her real self came back. But my parents are stuck. They spent their savings on her credit card debt, so they cannot even go to Sicily like they planned. Isabella asked, "Can I come stay with you? Just for a little while?" My heart broke. I said, "You know I cannot do that, kiddo. But listen, you can always call me. I don't care what your mom says." Then she said something that surprised me. She said, I heard Mom talking to her friend about the credit cards. She stole from you, didn't she? That is why you stopped helping us. Isabella is 9 years old but acts like she's 30. She is too smart for her own good. I said carefully, Isabella, sometimes adults make big mistakes, but none of this is your fault. You understand that, right? She was quiet for a minute. She said, Mom says you left us.
But that is not true, is it? You helped me for a long time. I said, 5 years. I would have kept helping if your mom had not made those mistakes. She said, is that why you don't come to Sunday dinner anymore? I said, yes, kiddo, but that does not mean I don't love you. You are the best part of this whole crazy family. We talked for an hour about school, about her friends, about how strange it is living with her grandma and grandpa. She is worried about her mom, but she is also angry. She says Sophia barely pays attention to her now. Sophia is too busy going out with friends. She's too busy shopping. After we hung up, I called Aunt Maria. We made a plan. Maria has always been the family mediator. Even when we were kids, she could talk sense to people. She started visiting my parents' house more often, especially when Isabella was there. She took Isabella to Sunday school. She taught her how to make real sauce. Sophia still buys sauce in a jar. That is almost a crime in our family. I cannot be there in person, but I make sure Isabella knows I support her. I send her books from Amazon. She loves to read. We have long phone talks when she can call secretly. I even helped her with a science project. We used video chat. Sophia tried to stop it at first, but here is something about Italian families. You do not mess with the aunts. Maria stopped that quickly. She said, do you want me to tell everyone at church what really happened with those credit cards? Suddenly, Sophia became very cooperative. My parents are a different story. It is complicated. My dad called me last week, first time in months. He said they are having a hard time with Sophia living there. She is not looking for a job. She is not helping with bills. She treats their house like a free hotel. He asked if I had any advice. I told him the same thing I have said for years. Sophia needs to face consequences, or she will never change. He actually listened this time. They are giving her 2 months. She needs to find a job. She needs to find her own place. My mom is not happy about it, but even she is starting to understand, especially after Sophia spent all her credit card money. Yes, she has not learned. Isabella is doing better. She stands up for herself more. She even tells Sophia when she is being too dramatic. The kid is strong. Last week, she made the honor roll. She sent me a picture of her certificate right away. Aunt Maria says Isabella reminds her of me at that age. She says Isabella is strong but kind, like someone else I know. The family is still divided. Some relatives think I am bad. They think I should help family. Others are starting to understand, especially after seeing how Sophia acts at my parents' house. The truth comes out eventually. How am I doing? I'm okay. I started saving for a house again. I even went on a date last week. Sophia is not the only one who can move on. Aunt Maria is trying to set me up with her friend's daughter because this story needed more Italian family cliches. Isabella sent me a card last week. She drew a picture on the front. It was us. She wore her Dorothy costume. I gave her yellow roses. Inside she wrote, "Thank you for always believing in me. I will always remember what you said. I am strong." Yes, I cried a little. Sue me. I don't know if my family will ever be like it was before. Maybe it should not be. But Isabella is growing up strong and smart. That is what matters. She will stop the pattern. I will be there to help her do it the right way this time.